Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 288, Midterm Offseason Report Cards. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. As always, how are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick, and I like the fact that we're giving out report cards and not getting them because I never liked getting midterm report cards.
I don't think ours would be too bad right now. I mean, we are 8 followers away from 30K, which is
The,
mind-blowing for us. It's crazy.
the countdown is on.
It is for sure. Yeah, we started January 1st last year, just barely over 10K, and we have more than doubled in size this year. So thank you to everybody that's been listening, supporting the page, supporting this show. It's been an absolute wild ride, and my goal next year is to double again. So I think we can do it. I mean, this community has been incredible, and you guys show out time and time again. So thank you so much.
Amazing.
Great way to start off the new year, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were hoping to get to 30K around the new year, and here we are, not that far away, thinking we were crazy when we thought that was attainable back then.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Hope everyone had a safe, happy New Year's. I took my power nap, woke up to watch the ball drop, and then stayed up for another 2 hours and watched Stranger Things series finale. So that was my New Year's. How was yours with the kids, Harrison?
Pretty good. I took the kids. We went to see Zootopia 2. We saw the 920 showing of
Oh,
Zootopia 2, which was pretty good. And and then we came home and watched the ball drop, and then went to bed.
nice. That's on my short list because we're Disney fans too. So,
It's
but
good. I would say it's good. It's definitely more intense than the first one, but it's a good one.
okay, awesome. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about our New Year's. Let's get into some baseball. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of our socials in our link tree. We're starting to build a website and we have the link tree links in there and stuff. So keep an eye on that. It's the top of our social medias. So if you do any shopping for these products, use those links. We get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Also have Rounding Third merch on Etsy. If you just search Rounding Third Baseball, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, whole bunch of stuff on there. Just another great way to support us and to get our name out there. So check us out on Etsy. And also Patreon. We had our very first exclusive trivia party. I guess that's what you'd call it, trivia show, trivia party, last Friday. And it was an absolute blast. We had a good turnout. Everybody had fun, just talked baseball, threw out some trivia questions. It was a great time. So check us out, Rounding Third Baseball on Patreon. All right. I kept it moderate last night, much like the Giants offseason. Yeah. Aaron, we'll get to that, man. I'm sorry, man. Crazy.
Yeah, moderation's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Forrest. Yes, I sound much better. Still got a little bit of a head thing going on, but crazy. But yeah, wow, that's what my wife and I did last night. Stranger Things finale. Yeah, absolutely. So
I mean, there are days I feel like I'm living Stranger Things, but
that's all of us, buddy. But
yeah.
all right, here we go. The big news of the day. Amai to the Astros, 3 years, $54 million with incentives that could bring him to $63 million, which is he just gets $3 million extra if he reaches the 100 innings pitched plateau for each season. What are your thoughts on this?
You and I were kind of passing messages back and forth because literally like 5 minutes before the news broke, we are like, is this dude going to sign? Like, what's the deal? We're running out of time. And then all of a sudden he signed, which was great. But, we were passing messages back and forth that this is like the most non-committal offseason I can remember. This is another one of those, it's a 3-year deal, not a huge outlay, opt-outs at the end of each year. It feels very much like two sides that, we're like, this is good enough. We're not really going to commit to any long-term things. We're going to leave things open, keep some flexibility, keep our options open. It's kind of like we want to date but see other people.
Yeah.
It's an interesting move. I think for him, he was limited in his options, and the Astros knew that. He was one day away from having to go back to Japan. You take what you can get, but we've seen a number of these deals. Michael King's one of them. This is another one of them where it's a very loose deal that keeps everybody's options open.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit more because I do have another slide later on where we're going to talk about kind of the status of free agency and why these players are kind of signing the deals they are, because this may be the only type of deals they have with what's coming down. So I don't know. As far as the Astros getting this guy, I mean, sure. I think part of this offseason that's been so interesting is we don't know what we're getting for Japanese talent, right? We don't exactly understand what these guys are going to bring. So I don't think that teams are ready to just jump on a 7-year, 8-year deal. You knew what you were getting with Otani when he came over. You knew what you were getting with Yamamoto, right? Because, even to a point, Masataka Yoshida he got a bigger deal than we even thought, but that was still smaller than what people were predicting at first. Are we going to see smaller deals like this coming out of the Japanese market, do you think, going forward?
I think so, because when you look at the track record, it hasn't been outstanding. It's been good, but again, Yamamoto comes over year one, hurt, missed most of the season. Sasaki comes over year one, hurt, misses most of the season. It is very much a trend. These guys seem to show up and get hurt. And I do think teams are hedging their bets a little bit. I also think that transition is tough and a lot of guys don't make it. And I do think there's a level of kind of hedging your bets here to say, well, if he is terrible, we're not into it for a lot. We could do worse. If he's great, then okay, we'll renegotiate with him or he becomes a free agent. But, we're limiting our downside risk. And I just think that when you've got proven players like a Scooble or a Cease, guys that you've seen many, many times and you know what to expect, it's a lot easier to make that kind of commitment versus guys that, you think they might and maybe they do. It's hard to make that kind of massive commitment to a guy that you've just never seen do it.
Right. Silix asked, do you guys think my Braves will go after Framber now they missed out on Amai? Framber's such a weird one for us. We've been talking about him the last few shows. We don't know if teams are really digging the character. Now, listen, I'm digging the pitcher Framber Valdez all day. I love what he brings to the ballpark. Just pounds balls into the ground every start for 7 innings. You know what you're going to get out of him. But the clubhouse issues, I think, are the roadblock right now. Now, I could be wrong, but we've only heard 3 teams really in on him, correct? The Giants, Orioles, and are the Braves one?
The last I knew it was the Mets. The Mets were the third team. And it was really kind of between the Mets and the Orioles were the top 2. But I don't know what comes of any of that, because those teams have been in on him for, like 60 days now. And we're still sitting here waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're a jerk, it follows you. Ask me how I know. That's exactly what it is, you know, and Framber's contract will include Kevlar catcher's gear. It's hard. I don't even know where to value his market at all. Not one bit. I don't have the slightest clue. If the Reds, I don't want the Red Sox to go after him. I don't want any of the teams I follow to pull him in. No thanks. No. I'm okay with that.
No, I'm okay, sidestepping that train wreck. And I think a lot of teams, we talked about it last week. There's a lot of teams that are saying that they think his value is going to be seriously impacted by that. And there are teams that have outright just said we're not interested in bringing him in because we have people in our organization that are just saying no, thank you. Like, don't want any part of that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, listen, the Braves are going to look for depth. Yeah. They have to. And that's just because their track record of injuries has been dreadful the last few years.
Yeah. What the Braves need to do is they need to go find 2 guys for that spot and hope that one actually makes it through the season.
Yep.
Because that's basically their track record. You need 10 starters to be able to get 5 out there. Look at last year. The opening week starting 5 was all out injured by the middle of the season.
Yeah.
They're running a whole different starting five out there in August and September.
Yeah. Crazy.
One point to go back on Amai is that what I find interesting when you look at Houston, besides the contract, this makes the Astros super right-handed. I mean, that is a very right-handed team. You've got Hader and Gordon and Okert in the bullpen. You may have Souza and Walter, some guys who are kind of, I would say, not necessarily guarantees, but those are the guys on the active roster. Your bullpen's got lefties, but it does not look like your starting rotation is going to have any lefties in it potentially. And it's interesting to see a team run a fully right-handed rotation out there.
That is what it is. I mean, if that's all you can get, it's all you can get. But
it's interesting, because they for so long had that consistent left-hander, and without him, replacing him with a right-hander, you're going to be extremely right-handed heavy.
Yeah, interesting. Which actually might not play that awful to them. It kind of takes the Crawford boxes out of them at home. If the other team counters with a left-handed lineup, it kind of takes the Crawford boxes out of play, maybe a little. I don't know.
It can. I mean, there's certainly many ways to spin it and play it, but it's interesting to see them go so right-handed.
Yeah, I agree. All right, speedster Esteri Ruiz traded to the Marlins. Now, again, the only reason I put this slide in here, Harrison and I brought this guy up last show, and then bang, he's back on the radar and he's traded. And it's like, well, what is going on here? Like, guys we haven't talked about in 2 or 3 years, all of a sudden we bring their name up and something happens in the news. It's just inevitable at this point. It's crazy.
It's the wildest thing. I swear. Like, whenever we bring somebody up, Hunter Harvey, we bring up out of the blue 2 weeks ago. He signs the next day. Esther Ruiz, we bring up out of the blue. He gets traded the next day. It's so funny how random players come up and then something happens.
Yep. It's wild. But listen, that guy can steal close to 70 bases if he gets a chance. We saw it. 67, I think, his rookie year in Oakland. So he's gonna bring some speed to that Marlins team. So it's gonna be another interesting dynamic piece for that Marlins team.
It's a shame the dude can't get on base. Like, that's the only knock on him. He can't hit, he can't get on base. I mean, his career OBP is 296. Like, that ain't gonna cut it for a guy who's got top of the lineup speed. Terrible.
I bet you never brought up Tyler Mahle.
No, you're right. We didn't.
But not done yet.
Yeah, not recently, but yes.
No. Yeah, for sure. Jared Kelenic really signed a minor league deal with the White Sox. I saw that too.
That dude's like a cat. He's got 9 lives. You're
really trying to hang on when you get a minor league deal with the White Sox.
Yeah, when the White Sox say you're not good enough for a major league roster, that's usually a pretty good indication of where your life has gone.
Yeah, crazy. Dakota, back to Amai real quick. How did he sign for so little? Now it can get up to upwards of 30 million, right? I think is what, like, the incentive.
31 it maxes out at.
That's right. And that's including the posting fee.
No, sorry, 21, not 31, 21.
Right. But including the posting fee and the incentives, it is closer to 30 million. So that's why the money looks quote unquote low, because it's still going to cost the Astros $30 million a year, possibly, if he lives out all 3 years of his contract, to keep him. But he's a $30 million a year pitcher for the Astros right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is the fact that, yes, you got the posting fee to go with it, and B, he didn't have a lot of options, and people weren't willing to pay top dollar for a guy they've never seen. And I think we're seeing that more with these Japanese players of late, teams being a little bit more cautious.
Yep, agree. And we'll get into it a little bit deeper about why we think these guys aren't getting the 5 years, and it's not just Japanese players. I think it's also just free agent class in general. But we'll dive into that in a little bit.
There's very much a trend here that we're going to break down.
All right, Kirby Yates joins the Angels. Is there any point next season where we could be talking about the Angels positively?
We might. They're very quietly making some interesting moves. Now, granted, Kirby Yates was terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. So you're hoping you get the Kirby Yates from a couple years ago. But I mean, this is a team. I think like last year, they're going to hang around 500, and then they're going to kind of fade as they always do. But I do think this is a team that if some of these guys perform like they're expected to, might actually be better than we think. That roster is not terrible. They still need pitching. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
rumors that they're trying to make some trades and work some things. So, do I think there's a playoff team? No. But I think it's a team that is potentially better than we think.
Yeah, I think everybody in the comments, I think we're with you. John Carter, as in, I'm positive they won't make the playoffs. Yeah, for sure. A lot will depend on Trout. I think that's every year, right? With Trout.
Yeah, and I think having a guy like Taylor Ward in the lineup. Oh, right, never mind.
Yeah.
You still have Joe
Ouch.
Adell.
For
But
now.
yeah, but do you think he can do what he did again?
Yeah. And Ryan, this is the next slide coming right up. Anything's possible after you shed the worst contract in baseball history. And here it is. Um, you know, Anthony Rendon will be paid out $38 million within the next 3 to 5 years. So it's kind of like they just deferred the rest of it and let's just move on. Like we're done with him completely. We'll pay him, I don't know what the math breaks down to, like $11 million over the next 3 years. Call it a day. You know, good for the Angels. It's time to move on, because they do have some pieces there. I like Neto. If they can keep Adele, I love Ohapi. Sean Well is a great hitter. The Angels have some pieces. It's time for them to start making moves. I agree with everybody that they are not going to really make an impact this year. We've seen them make offseason moves in the past, and it's just enough to keep their head above water, and that's about it. And I think that's what they're doing again this offseason. But this is a big weight to be lifted off your shoulders right here.
Yeah, it's nice to get a little bit of payroll relief so you can go make some moves and put this behind you. But I love the headlines of, Anthony Rendon's career is finally over in Anaheim. It was over 2 years ago. There's no way that dude was coming back. He was
Nope.
going to find every reason not to show up this year. He's going to fake a hangnail and miss months. Like the whole world knew that his career was over last spring when he was like, "Yeah, I can't go." It's like, dude, you're never going to go again. We all know it.
Yeah.
It's just nice to finally be able to close this chapter and say, look, we know he's not coming back. We're going to spread the money out. We're going to eat this contract. It sucks. But at least we can close the door and give ourselves a little bit of breathing room for the next few years.
When he held out for the hip surgery until what, mid-January, we were like, dude, it wasn't a secret you needed a hip surgery. Why wouldn't you have done this earlier? And turns out he just to buy more time to not play out his contract.
Yeah, he didn't wake up one morning and be like, man, my hips bother me. I need surgery. Like, dude, you've known this for months.
Yeah.
And you just waited because you knew that if you waited to a certain point in time, you'd be like, oh, look, geez, it's too bad. I can't rehab it. I'm going to miss the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It never started. I mean, it's 2020, he was pretty good, and that was it.
Yeah. Aaron, this has to be.
Oh, yeah.
Ever, of all time.
He was the highest paid third baseman for the entire length of that contract. He's still in 2025, he is on the books, or in 2025 and 2026, he's on the books as the highest paid third baseman in baseball.
Yeah. Crazy. They better not pay him every July 1st and overshadow Bobby Bonilla Day. I'm not okay with that. Yeah. And they won't. I think this guy, I think baseball is tired of him. I think we're all ready to just move on from what this is, because this is an absolute disgrace to the game of baseball, what he did. Now, listen, injuries happen. I get it. But how you handled yourself during those injuries is what is disgraceful to the game.
Yeah,
Your mouth
and
got you in trouble.
yeah, what the Angels should do to make sure they never actually have to pay him is they should put his bag of money every year out of the third base position on the field because he's not going out there.
Right.
I mean, that's the only place you won't be able to find Anthony Rendon is on a field somewhere. So just leave the bag out in the field, see if he shows up.
And Ryan, I completely forgot about this.
Oh my
Angels
God.
paid this dude astronomically, and his Angels career highlight is a lefty homer off the position player. Crazy work. I mean, you nailed his summary of his work in Anaheim with that one statement. That's incredible.
Oh, that is so good.
Man. Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
That. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Just utterly embarrassing.
And I think you're right. You won't find a guy who cares less about baseball and took more advantage of the situation than this guy. Like,
oh yeah,
he's a case study of what not to do.
Yep. I agree with you, Silix. Jose Ramirez is the best third baseman in the game all around consistently. He did take the hometown discount, so I mean it's on him that he didn't get paid, but still, I agree he is the top third baseman right now. He'll do a Rinaldi interview, try to redeem himself. I don't think he cares. I really don't think he cares that much, honestly.
This is a guy who he doesn't care about the game, doesn't care about the fans, doesn't care about perception. He's the kind of guy that if you saw him at the grocery store, he said, "Dude, you suck," you'd be like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And just keep going about his day. Like there literally is not an ounce of care in this guy.
No.
Just isn't there.
No. All right, Harrison. Joe Kelly Fight Club is no longer. Joe Kelly retires. I love this dude in Boston, man. He just embodied everything Red Sox fans were, and he reads the game. He knows when a batter needs to get plunked. He doesn't shy away from it, and he just brings it on. And I mean, his tenure with the Red Sox was just absolutely incredible. And it wasn't necessarily what he did on the field stat-wise, but he was a great teammate to have, and he was a blast to watch.
There is not a player that I can think of that I loved more when he was on my team and hated more when he was on another team.
Yeah.
The dude is the ultimate like scab. He drives you crazy. His performance, I mean, his career numbers are okay. He was a pretty effective reliever at times, also pretty terrible at times. Great teammate, and a bit of a nut job out there. Like you never knew what you're going to get from him. Like I remember, was it Tampa or somewhere where he just like was throwing up and in at the guys, and then he like cries at them as they walk off the field after gets the K. Like the dude, he did not care what you thought, did not care whether you liked him or not. He was out there to win. He was not afraid to break your neck to win at all costs. And the dude was a gamer. He would go do the dirty work. He would incite the riot, but there's not a guy who was more of a wild card than Joe Kelly, but also probably isn't a guy that was more loved by his teammates than Joe Kelly.
Oh yeah. And the fan bases he played for.
Dude was
the fans
amazing.
love this guy. So I mean, just I have a Joe Kelly Fight Club t-shirt.
Love it.
I absolutely love it. First rule of Joe Kelly Fight Club is that we don't talk about Joe Kelly Fight Club. Okay, moving on.
Was it Austin Romine that he had the throwdown with? Was that who it was?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. When he just like waves him out there, it was amazing.
Yeah, he just drops the glove and he's just like,
come on, big boy.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah. Silix says he wants you to think Fight Club is closed, but now he's just operating it instead of competing. Yeah. St. Louis farm system legend Joseph the Mariachi Man Kelly. He did not retire. He moved to another phase of greatness. Oh man. Mike, a bit of a nut job?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be kind to the guy who's retiring. And I love this whole thing, like, we don't get to retire. We just stop playing. Like, get rid of the word retirement. People that actually work for a living retire. We don't. We just stop playing. And he had this like whole rant about the fact, like, who do we think we are to think we retire? We just stop playing.
Yeah. Right. And then get a gold card to go to any game you want.
Yeah. Even the way the guy retires is like out of the box. I mean, there's nothing about this guy that is like normal in any way.
Yep. Love it. But yeah, 13 years, 54, 38 win-loss record out of the bullpen. I mean, he does have some starts sprinkled in there. 5.3 WAR, two-time World Series champion. I mean, if I'm looking for a solid MLB career, I'm taking that every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
Yep.
Right? I mean, I am. For a guy that never got a shot, obviously, at professional baseball, I'm taking that career every day. Someone's like, "Here, Nick, do you want this MLB career?" I'd be like, "Yep, 1,000%."
Yeah.
So,
Well, and and what I would say is I think it was the Red Sox that saved his career, because if you remember, he came to Boston as a starter. He was not good. And the Red Sox said, "What are we doing? Like, let's just throw this guy in the bullpen." All of a sudden, he became a really effective bullpen arm, and then went to LA and had that run with them. But he was on his way out of baseball when the Red Sox said, "Let's flip him and try him as a reliever." And then all of a sudden, like, he found his spot and was so good because he could just come in, let it rip for a dozen pitches, and then go sit down.
Yep. Yeah. Loved it.
And let it rip he did. And half the time he had no idea where the hell it was going.
Nope. That's what made him so great.
It was fun to watch, if nothing else.
All right. Here we go. Let's dive into this a little bit more. You know, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Let's dive deeper here. So, should players be concerned about the status of the free agent market, or is this a product of the pending lockout? Or is it a product of the two huge free agents in Soto and Ohtani the past two off seasons?
Boy, I think there's a lot to unpack here. So let's go piece by piece here. Pending lockout, I think, definitely has something to do with this. I think teams are hesitant to make big commitments going into a likely work stoppage, a likely transition period for baseball with probably some big changes coming out of it. It's hard to make big commitments when you don't know the rules at the other end of it. So I do think teams are trying to keep some flexibility. I also do wonder if the players are driving us a little bit. You know, give me a 3-year deal, but give me the opt-outs so that if things change and it's actually better for me, I can go back out there. I do think there's a level of teams trying to be cautious, not make the big commitment, keep some flexibility. I think there's also a level of maybe some of the players want that too, because nobody knows what's coming.
Right.
And after 2026, all bets are off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the lockout is the biggest culprit. Now there is a lot of other possible variables here, but yeah, Curtis, everybody in the chat, I'm with you. Like, the lockout is the number one reason, I think. We just don't know what's going to happen. We've been calling for salary cap. We've been calling for salary floor. We've been calling for a harsher luxury tax penalty. We've been calling for owners to spend more, owners to spend less. So, like, the teams just have no idea where this is going to go, how long it's going to go, right? Do I want to sign a 3-year contract when it's going to be essentially a 4-year contract because we're not going to play in 2027? You know, so, like, there's a lot of that. So the lockout is the number one reason for me why these contracts are kind of looking like they are. Now, Pete Alonso's Pete Alonso. You're going to overpay years, money, whatever you can to get those 50 home runs on your team, right? That's what you're going for anyways, right? There are some guys that are going to break that mold just because that's who they are and that's what your team needs. But the lockout is dictating a lot of these, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I just you're moving into a period of major uncertainty. But I do think, and Mike Reed said it in the chat before I got a chance to get to it, I do think this free agent class is not great. And I do think teams are tired of the valuations being what they are. You know, I don't think anybody wants to pay Framber Valdez $35 million a year. That's what he's expecting. That's what the market's been. Nobody wants to give him that. And I think there's a level of teams that are holding out. You know, we've got a lot of big names drifting into January, which we usually have some. We've got a lot of big names drifting into January with, I mean, basically every one of the top free agents, minus maybe like Schwarber and Cease, are still out there.
Yeah.
Still got Tucker, still got Suarez, still got Framber Valdez, still got Bregman. you've got a lot of the big guys still sitting there waiting to make a move. And I think teams are looking at it as I just don't want to pay full price because I think the price is too high for what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anybody in this free agent class that I'm just like, oh my God, got to have him. Like my team won't be the same without him. I think teams just looking at it saying, I can for a lot less money get a guy who's almost as good and do something different. I think that's why the Red Sox have gone the route of trades. I'm going to go trade for the players that I like on contracts that are more affordable because I don't want to pay the current market value.
Yeah, and
I'm going to go pick up old contracts.
Exactly. And we've said this for the last year or two about these young kids coming in, right? I'm not going to go pay $35, $40 million a year for a guy that I have coming up in the minor leagues in 2 years. And I know he's going to be that type of player. Mm-hmm. We are seeing such an influx of these guys, and you have them under control for 6 years. You don't have to pay them. So, yeah, I'm going to go the cheaper option. That's going to give my team a better option for sustained success for the next 6 years.
Yep.
Just makes sense.
And I'm going to make the unpopular comment that I make every time we get into this, but with the values being what they are, because some big market teams have driven them up, when a guy like Framber Valdez says, hey, my price tag $30 million a year, half the teams in the MLB go, can't afford it. Couldn't even if I wanted to. And that again is a problem. Free agency is not for everybody anymore. Free agency is not open to the entire league. Free agency is only really available to the top, 10, 12 teams.
Yeah.
Everybody else is sitting it out.
Yeah.
Or kind of picking at the edges for what's available, what's left.
Yeah. Nico says baseball free agency notoriously moves slow, but I think what these guys are demanding these days, teams just don't want to pay these crazy premiums, which is business smart, which is what you just said, Harrison. Like it there's no point to. Like, I have this guy. Is he still raw? Does he still need some shaping? Yes. But in 2 or 3 years, he's going to be on my team, and he's going to be under team control for 6 years. I don't need to go spend $40 million a year until that guy gets here. I'm just going to wait.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. And I look around. You look around the league. You've got a lot of teams right now that are transitioning into rebuilds. You got a lot of teams in the league now that are on the way up, but don't have the budget for a big name player, and have young guys coming. And to give Craig Breslow some credit, because I'm usually pretty tough on him, he even said it, like, I need to maintain some roster flexibility because I got young guys coming that I don't want to block. Like, I don't want to make a 5-year commitment to somebody and tell some guy in the minor leagues, hey, dude, sorry, there's no spot for you anymore.
Right.
Be forced to trade guys out that could be potential superstars for you, be forced to move positions. The A's did that with Soderstrom, but that's not the norm to move a guy twice in a year and have it work out for you.
Right.
So I just think it's I think there's a lot to it, but I do believe that free agency is no longer something that everybody participates in because they just can't.
How much did Ohtani and Juan Soto just completely jack up the free agent market? Like, I'm talking like value, free agent value, all of that for all the other guys underneath. Like, I know they're not Ohtani and Soto. That's not what I'm saying. But they got such high prices that these guys are like, these second tier guys are like, oh, okay, now we can move up a tier here. So how much of was those two signing the contracts they did affect free agency now?
I don't think Ohtani really affects the market so much because I think people get why he got what they gave him. He brought a whole country with him. The Dodgers are going to be the first $1 billion revenue franchise in sports history. And Ohtani's driven so much of that growth.
Right.
Winning World Series is great. Yeah, that certainly helps your growth. But when you bring a whole friggin' country with you, it's another story. So with Ohtani, you got more than just a baseball player. You got a cultural icon that brought with him a country. I think Soto jams the market up a little bit because people see him as a comp, and that contract makes no sense. And not only that, but somebody mentioned earlier in the chat, the Mets went out and spent all that money on Soto and got worse. And now they're tearing it apart. So there's, that's one that didn't work. So it's kind of an example of maybe you don't want to do that. But I think because of that, you've also seen Bregman get $40 million on a short-term deal that another one we all kind of went, oh wow, that's strange.
Yeah.
And you're continuing to see, Aaron Judge gets 40 million. Aaron Judge got a whole lot less than Soto for what he does. I think you've seen a trend of these contracts climbing and premium talent getting a premium that doesn't necessarily make sense.
Right. Yeah. John says, it's not every day / season that two generational talents go on the market like they did, but teams are really starting to draw the line in the sand and say no. And and I think that's going down a few tiers, right? It's just like Alex Bregman and all them still not signing. Like, yes, it moves slow, like Nico said earlier, but they're coming to these teams and these teams are like, yeah, no, we're not budging. What was it the other day? It's like Cody Bellinger, right? You were like 5 years. Well, I want 7. 5. I want 7. 5. Like, that's the hard line. They're not moving the line. And I think that's where teams are at this point. They're tired of playing the games. Like, do you want to play or not? Like, we're offering you $28 million a year, for example. Like, that's not chump change. Do you want it or not? Yes or no? Okay, I'll go find somebody that wants it.
Yeah. And I do think, and credit to Brian Cashman for holding the line on this one. In the past, I think the Yankees would have caved and given it to him and then hated the back end of that contract. I think Cashman's taking the approach of, we have a number in mind, we have a contract length in mind, and that's what it is. Come back if you want it or don't. But we're not going to hurt the franchise because you want a couple extra years we're not willing to give you, and we'll move on if we have to. And Nico makes the point about Kyle Tucker. Love Kyle Tucker. There's no way on earth I'm paying him 35 to 40 million bucks. Great ball player
for 9 to 10 years at all.
Right.
No.
Like, no shot. No shot. You're going to pay him Aaron Judge money? Nope. I'm not. Somebody can. But as good as he is, I don't see it. And I think that is the issue, is that you say, well, he wants 35 to 40 million. The market's there because Soto got 51. Well, he's not Soto. Judge is at 40. He's certainly not Judge. So where does that leave you? Now Trent Grisham's making 22. Where the hell is the market? I'm not sure anybody even knows.
Yeah.
But all I know is that I don't want to strap myself to that ship. And, Aaron makes the comment about Devers. That was a terrible contract. And now the Giants are living with that. Manny Machado, not a great contract. Xander Bogaerts, not a great contract. So many of these long contracts, it doesn't take long for them to not age well.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think Nico also brought up the point, like, there are teams that can use the deferrals to their advantage. Now, other than the Dodgers, that can eat that financially if they decide, if the lockout comes out and the result is, we have to count the deferrals towards the luxury tax payment, or however they decide it comes out, right? Dodgers can eat that. Can other teams do that? Can the Pittsburgh Pirates go in, offer Kyle Tucker $40 million a year with $38 million deferred for 10 years? And then the lockout happens and they say, hey, this is all going to count towards the luxury threshold, and still be able to afford it. I don't know if they can. So like teams aren't going to sign those deals. There's no way.
No. And again, like, as I've said many times, and I know people don't like this, these owners bought these teams as an investment to make some money. They didn't buy these teams as a big pit to keep throwing money into. And you've got Major League Baseball, the teams lost $1.8 billion collectively last year. Now, yes, the Mets were like 20% of that by themselves.
Easily.
But you've got Major League Baseball teams hemorrhaging money. And that's not good. And owners are not going to do that forever. You don't spend $2 billion to buy a team to then just throw money into it every year and never make a nickel on it. Like, why would anybody in their right mind do that?
Right.
And at some point, these owners are going to say, enough's enough. Like, I'm just not doing it anymore. I've got X revenue. I can afford Y payroll. That's all I'm doing. That's all I can do. And if the Dodgers want to go spend twice that, well, then enjoy the trophy, boys.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's their prerogative. It's their team. It's their business, right? As fans, we hate it, right? But it's kind of out of our control. But I'm with you. If me and you went and bought the Minnesota Twins, which they are on sale for what they were $35, still couldn't scrape it together. But
You got to pay off their massive debt, but
yeah, exactly. I don't have the money for that. But I mean, you don't want to keep dumping money in. It'd be silly, absolutely silly.
well, and over the last 4 years, you've had the Nationals almost go bankrupt, and the
Yep.
Padres almost go bankrupt because they just and you're like, well, those are good teams. The Nationals won a World Series in 2019. They got a bunch of young kids on their payroll. How'd that not work? Well, it's because they paid for a World Series, and then the Padres signed all those big contracts and had to trade Juan Soto because they literally could not afford to keep him.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, many of these teams are not in a good place financially, and they cannot just shell out more money. And I think a lot of owners look around going, why are we bidding against ourselves and overpaying these guys when 3/4 of the teams in the league aren't even talking to these guys? Like, we're
Yeah,
negotiating with
right.
like 2 other teams, and or in some cases against ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? We
Yeah.
can set the market. I'm not
Mhm.
saying they should collude, but they can say, look, you're a $30 million a year guy, period.
Yeah.
Here's an
End of
offer,
story.
10 years, 300. Oh, you're not interested? Okay, bye.
Yep.
Go
Yeah.
play somewhere else.
Hmm. Ryan, I agree with this point. Baseball would benefit from going back to building your future in the
Yep.
system instead of trying to purchase a ring in free agency. Now, yes,
Yep.
sustained success, that is the key. And I think we're starting to see that. Like this result of this free agency the last couple of years, other than Otani and Soto, like we are seeing teams, and like I said earlier, build build within. Hence, Heim Bloom going to 3 different organizations in the last 5 years. Teams want that. Teams want a guy that can come in and build a team and give me a solid foundation for 6, 7, 8 years. Right? Red Sox are in great shape because of Bloom. The Rays have always been in good shape because they've had guys that can evaluate talent within. Right? Do they necessarily reach the pinnacle of the MLB season? No, but they're relevant every year. They never finish below 500. They're there. They compete. You can't take them lightly.
Yep.
I think you're going to see teams do that, and especially with this lockout, we have no idea what's going to come out of this. Possibly a whole big nothing burger. Most likely, nothing's going to change much.
Yeah.
That's kind of my prediction on the whole thing. They're just going to pander for about 6 months and then just be like, "All right, let's sign it. We're good."
Yeah. We got to play ball. Like,
Yeah.
we can't all just sit here and make no money.
Yeah, so that's a story for a different night. But I think you are going to see, and you've already seen it, where teams are starting to build young and just get a complete plethora of minor league talent to see what they have that they can bring up to to the big club.
Yep. Yeah. I
So
just, we've said it many times. We even talked about it a couple weeks ago now, I think it was, where, you need to have some level of homegrown younger player on your roster to keep your costs low so you can go sign a big contract or two with somebody.
yeah,
But you can't. I say you can't. Most teams can't go out and sign multiple free agents in a single offseason. They just can't pay the freight.
right.
They have to have some way to keep things reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else on this before we kind of move on?
I think this is a lot of about this. This is a lot of the state of baseball. It's a broken economic platform, broken financial platform, whatever you want to call it. It is shock and awe about the market values. It's the transition period they're about to go into and the uncertainty of what's coming. This is like the perfect storm for baseball, where there's nothing other than ratings and growth. There's nothing right now under the surface for baseball that's in good condition. Teams
Right.
are a mess. Payrolls are a mess. Contracts are a mess. Free agency is kind of a mess right now. None of it's good. Now, if you get the CBA figured out, a lot of this goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, these are the problems you're going to lug into 2027 that are going to shut baseball down.
Yeah, agree. Time to schedule another MLB fan unions meeting to get our ducks in a row for what we're going to do during the lockout.
Cricket.
Yeah. Cricket
You
coverage.
know, we're gonna be covering cricket.
Oh man, what are we going to be like? Rounding wicket baseball, rounding wicket cricket.
Could we just be like rounders? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, it is, but like back in like 1600s, I think.
I mean, dude, all things, everything's on the table.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be covering the women's baseball leagues. At least they'll play.
Yeah, right. All right. Harrison and I are going to give out midterm off-season report card grades. We're going to kind of talk about them and then decide on a grade for each team. We're going to start. I'm going to give you guys a minute here, and explain more what we're going to do. So we're just going to go division by division. Mike Reed found him. Yes, Professor Moyer is in the show, and he's going to help us hand out grades. So Mike Reed just barely snuck in ahead of Michael Reed.
It's funny. At first, I thought it was
Michael
Joe Kelly.
Simpson.
I was like,
You thought it was Joe Kelly?
I was like, oh wait, no,
Yeah.
it's Moyer.
It's the facial hair. Yeah, this is Moyer
It
with
is.
facial hair. I'm gonna love it. But all right, so we're gonna start in the NL East. Harrison, Washington Nationals. What would you give them for a grade this offseason?
I mean, my grades are all relative because like there's certain things like I don't expect certain teams to do, but for me, the Nationals right now they've kind of just done nothing. They're sitting around.
Yeah.
Apparently they want to trade some people. I don't know. I'm going to give them a C because I don't expect them to do much.
Yeah, it's average. It's on par.
But I do expect them to do something. Like I don't think they're done, but as of right now, I give them a C. They haven't hurt the team. They haven't really made it better. They're just kind of standing pat. They do have a lot of young talent, so I give them credit. I do give them that. They have some stuff to work with, but not much going on.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just a C. They're just doing enough to get by the class. They're that's it.
Yeah, just existing.
Yeah, let's save that top middle one for the last one. Miami Marlins.
I give the Marlins a B. I think picking up Fairbanks was good. Trading for Ruiz could be good. But again, that's not a team I expected to do a lot because they are so loaded with young talent. They just have to give them time and see what they have. I mean, they won the trade deadline in 2023 or sorry, 2024, and all those players are starting to show up, and I think they could be really good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a B to a B plus for the Marlins. They don't have a lot to work with, but they still keep making moves to try to make themselves better. It's a solid B to a B plus for me for the Marlins. Atlanta Braves.
I like what the Braves have done. I think I don't think they're done either, but I think that the trade for Dubon, I think bringing in or hanging on to Ha-Seong Kim is good. They fixed the back end of their bullpen kind of in duplicate. So I would give the Braves a B plus. They still would benefit from some depth in that rotation. Otherwise, I think they're in good shape. That's a team that if they just get healthy, will be dangerous.
Yeah, Braves one are a tough one for me, right? I don't think you want to touch your everyday guys too much, right? You're just banking on health, right? So I think they've done the right thing by picking up Yastrzemski. I think that's a professional hitter. Like he's not going to move the needle much for you, but he's solid. He's not going to cost you games. He's not necessarily going to win you games. He's just going to be a nice piece for that Braves team. Getting Suarez at the back end for the Braves, huge. Signing Iglesias. So now you have bona fide 8-9 inning guys. Absolutely. Ha-Seong Kim going back, kind of solidifying a little middle infield there. I'm with you. I think Braves are B to a B plus there for sure. Yeah. All right. Philadelphia Phillies.
I mean, they've really not done anything to address their weaknesses. So I don't know. C minus, D plus. I'm gonna go D plus. Schwarber's fine. He doesn't change what you're doing. He doesn't make you any better. Um, you already were down that path. You've pissed off Bryce Harper. He's now taken BP with not elite shirts on to make his point. You've you've got Ranger Suarez who's gone. You've made no conversation. You have no conversation with him. You still have Bohm. You still have Castellanos. You still you haven't fixed your problems. And I think that's strange for Dave Dombrowski to not be spending a boatload of money to fix their problems. So we'll see. But as it stands right now, the Phillies are not a better team right now than they were when the season ended.
Nope, I'm with you. It's a solid D for me.
Yep.
Sure. The signing of Kyle Schwarber might be the only reason they're not failing. You got to get, if you have been looking to deal Castellanos and Bohm for the last 2.5 years, it seems like, and you still can't do it. Just cut the guys at this point and then fill the holes. You got the money to do it. What are you waiting for? I don't get it. There's got to be something else in that clubhouse going on that they just can't wrap their minds around or whatever. But Castellanos, whatever it is, Nicholas. We're just going to call him Nicholas. There's something going on in the clubhouse, obviously, because Bryce isn't happy about it, right? If they didn't sign Schwarber, it's an F. Are you going to replace Ranger Suarez? I don't know. Are you going to get anything out of Zach Wheeler and that injury? I hope he's well, but does that pop back up? Does Aaron Nola bounce back? You got so many question marks there in Philly, and they haven't addressed a single thing. So it's a solid D for me.
And they're banking on Andrew Painter being the guy that comes in and fills in for
which he might be. He might be filthy.
He could be.
Yeah,
which he could be, but still, I mean, besides the fact you've still got all the other issues in your lineup that you've been talking about for 2 years that you still haven't dealt with.
Yeah,
I mean, you've had Castellanos, who's been a 0 or negative WAR player for basically the whole time there. Like that was a bad contract from minute one. You've had Bohm, who was an all-star, then you immediately didn't like him and wanted to get rid of him. You've still got an outfield that's very much in flux. It's very strange to have them sitting here, really not very active, which is abnormal.
Yeah. Tommy says Philly fans are tired of Dombrowski running it back. As a Phillies fan, I fear if they make big changes to their roster and don't run it back, that they will be worse and not make the postseason. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I mean, they haven't done anything. I mean, there's still plenty of moves to be had out there, right? But at this moment, they're sitting at a D. They haven't done enough.
Well, no, and going into the offseason, we said that the reason they are committing to Thompson again was because they wanted to keep something stable as they likely tore that team apart. Realmuto's gone. Doesn't sound like there's any conversation to bring him back. So there's one player out. Suarez is gone. We expected them to move Bohm, move Castellanos. We expected them to shake up the rotation a little bit. We expect them to add, we expected the big changes to happen here. And we really haven't seen it yet. It's been small. It's been bringing Schwarber back. Great. Doesn't solve your problem. And then kind of just sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
And I expect this to be a lot of change.
Yep. Stillix, you nailed it, right? Bunch of guys who fell off bad. Nick, Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is another one.
Yeah.
Got to hope every game is 3 runs or less. Yeah, you got to hope that Sanchez goes out and shuts out the other team, which he did pretty much all year.
Yep.
But the Phillies' problem isn't winning in the regular season. They can do that. They're almost starting to get up to Milwaukee Brewers status here. 1 playoff series and done. Right? So at what point do you be like, okay, this team can't get any further than this? And no matter what we're adding, subtracting, trading for, signing, we're still not making another step. It's time to reset the board and try again.
Yeah. Yeah, you can keep doing the same thing, but you're going to keep getting the same result. And this was the Phillies' chance to begin to take some big swings to kind of reset this roster. And they're not doing that, which I find surprising. This was an opportunity to make a few big changes, see how it went, make this team more playoff ready. Because again, like this, you can't get in the playoffs and live and die by 3-run home runs. Like they just don't come. And we saw that in the playoffs. They got smoked because they couldn't get anything going. There's no sustained offense from them. Yeah. And you've got guys that consistently let you down in the playoffs. They just don't show up.
Yeah, it's a team that can put up 10 runs in a game. If they get to the postseason and, they might have one guy that's firing on all cylinders, and you just can't you'll get exposed so quick in the postseason if you only got one guy hitting. And that's what's happened to the Phillies the last few years.
Yep. Yeah, they just show up and fall apart.
Yeah, starts in the clubhouse, leadership, coaching, management. It does, 1,000%. All right, let's move over to the other train wreck here in the NL East, the New York Mets, Harrison.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an F. I think everybody would give them an F right now. I think David Stearns might give himself an F right now. I don't think they're done, but I also don't know what the hell they're doing. You have players who so very clearly don't want to come back and won't even give you a call back. Edwin Diaz didn't give them a second shot. Alonso was happy to sign and get out of there. You've got rumors of guys you might be making available via trade. You've still not dealt with the pitching issues that you have. You've got clubhouse problems. It's a disaster. I think a more fair grade is an incomplete, because I don't even think they have a true 40-man roster right now. They've had so many holes put in it. But given what they've done to this point, it's clearly an F. That is a team that is significantly worse than they were last year, and that was a team that already had gotten worse last year from the year before. Like, they're trending the wrong direction. They're spending more money to get there. It makes no sense.
It is a team that seems like they show up for the ACTs expecting to take the SATs. It just seems like they're in a completely different stratosphere. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They're showing up to the wrong test for the wrong subject or something. Like, it just doesn't make any sense what they're trying to do.
No.
And they're just making moves for the fact of making moves because they think that's what they're supposed to do. And it's not. Like, these moves don't help your team, buddy. So you don't have to make a move. Sometimes not making a move is the best move. So just stop. Just stop. It's a hard F- for me. If you have them at F-.
Give them a Z. I mean,
it's not pretty. I feel bad for Mets fans. I know Mets fans are very polarizing for other fan bases out there. I get it. But for loyal Mets fans, where you just signed Juan Soto, right? Generational talent. They're excited, as they should be. As I would be excited if my team signed Juan Soto, right?
Yep.
Because of the player he is. And then all of a sudden, the next year, we're just abandoning ship and sending everybody out.
Tear it down.
Talks of Lindor leaving town too. I mean, what are you even doing in Queens? Absolutely brutal.
Well, it's like I asked the question or made the comment on the show a couple weeks ago. Does the Mets front office even watch baseball? Because none of this makes any sense. I mean, the fan base is screaming because they all know better than Stearns. Like, nothing that they're doing makes any sense.
Yeah.
And the comments in the chat are just backing that up. Ryan, to treat Pete that way is wild. I bet that clubhouse is a morgue. Yeah. They dumped their 3 longest tenured players, and trading Brandon Nimmo. I get Brandon Nimmo is not the same guy he once was. He's had a variety of injuries, but that dude was the established veteran. Like, he was one of the guys. He was a key guy in that clubhouse, a key guy in that team. And you flipped him for Marcus Semien, another guy on decline who makes a little bit more money. And then you trade McNeil off to Oakland. I mean, a guy that you
Whoa,
just
whoa,
kind
whoa,
of.
whoa, whoa, whoa. The A's.
Oh, sorry, it's right. Yeah. Oh, geez. I got to get Oakland out of my brain. Trade him off to the Athletics Club, the Athletics Athletic Club.
Yep.
And a guy that you just didn't use well the last couple of years. Not that I think that McNeil's gonna light the world on fire, but like every move you make, you're like, oh, you're giving up Nimmo to get a guy that's really no improvement there. Oh, and you also dump McNeil, and Diaz didn't even call you back, and you didn't even talk to Alonso. Like what? What? What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it screams there's a huge clubhouse issue. There's a huge front office issue.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect between the two. I don't know. It's an absolute train wreck, but yeah, hard F minus, capitalized, italicized, and bold font.
Yeah, we're gonna hold the Mets back in 2025, Ryan. They don't get to move forward to 2026 based on what they've done.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, if I'm a Mets fan, I don't want the 2026 season to start based on what we've done so far because I don't want to watch it. It's not going to be good.
Crazy.
They've done nothing to fix the pitching. They've just gone and gotten every Yankees retread they can find. It's just like, oh my God, like this is, one of the gag gifts we could have gotten them was binoculars to go watch the Yankees bullpens, like make their next signing. Like, what are you guys doing? If you don't want to be a little brother, stop acting like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Embarrassing. Can we go back to 86 now? Yeah. I mean, All right, let's get over to the NL Central. Cubbies.
Have they done anything?
No, I'm giving them a D.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tucker's gone. You made no attempt to keep him because you couldn't. You reportedly had signed Zach Gallen, but didn't actually. You didn't want to give Shota more money to take away the opt out, so he took the qualifying offer instead. I just, this has not been a good offseason for Jed Hoyer. Now, I will say that team, they've got some young guys. They're trying to let them get settled in. I hope they're not done, but to this point, I'm with you. That team is, again, not better than where they ended the year.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this next one because I'm excited that they're doing something. I'm going to give the Pittsburgh Pirates an A+ for effort.
Yeah, this is a participation award.
This is an effort grade. Now, they have done nothing in 15 years. Think about that. 15 years. They've literally done nothing. Finally, Sherrington got handed the keys, or Nutting's on vacation and he made some moves while he was gone or something. And the Pirates are trying to make themselves better. Thank freaking God, it's about time.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them, and it's like I said, it's full effort grade here. I'm giving them an A+.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm pumped to just see him do anything. I mean, I'll give them a B on what they've done because they have gotten better. They've been able to pick up a couple of guys in Lowe and O'Hearn that I think are good additions. They already have a good pitching staff. They had that last year. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see them making moves. I think they've made some good moves. I also don't think they're done. But man, it's nice to actually see the Pirates involved.
I see you're grading on a curve now.
It's a steep curve, Mike. Steep curve.
And Captain backs us up. Agree. When you have 30 Fs in a row, then you get an A++. 1,000%. The Pirates are using their booty to acquire talent. Yeah. Since it's Nick, check the math. Has it been 15 years?
I think it's been 9, but we're going to let him go with 15.
Well, no, it's been 10. That's just the free agent, the multi-year free agent contract, right? 2016 was the last one. But
yeah.
They sign one dude and you give them a decade and a half and you give them an A+. Listen, we all know the educational system, especially in North Carolina, is crap. So
and for the record, Nick was a teacher. Just saying.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about what subject I taught because it's not really nice.
It was fitting though.
Yeah, but realistically,
what's dementia? I forgot.
Realistically, I'm obviously not giving the Pirates an A+, right? I mean, I am glad that they're finally trying to make an effort, and that was just more me being excited that they're actually doing something. Like they're not that meme where the guy's just sitting there poking the stick, being like, "Do something." They're actually trying to make moves, a trade, a free agent signing. Like they're doing things. So realistically, O'Hearn, Lowe, both all stars. You just acquired 2 all stars. I'm gonna give them a C plus B minus.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not top tier free agents. You're not gonna get top tier free agents for a while there, but C plus yeah, C plus B minus. I'm gonna give the Pirates realistically.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair. I'll give them a B because I think they made some good moves to fill some major holes. Is that a playoff team? Nope. But they're getting closer to relevant again.
Yeah.
Can we give them an R? Nice, John.
Love it. All right, Milwaukee Brewers.
I mean, I think I give the Brewers a C. I don't think I expect them to do much. They're going to return damn near that whole team.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to make a lot of moves. They have no money. We know that. So, C.
Yeah, I'm with you. They're the Brewers. They continue to do what they do. They have young talent. They have Christian Yelich as their star, if you will. Jackson Churrio's up and coming. He's going to be the next star there. They're doing enough, and they're young enough where they don't have to go out and make big splashy moves. So yeah, I'm with you. C.
Yep. C.
Ryan said all stars is a broad stroke, sir. Well,
I mean,
I just do what Baseball Reference tells me to do.
I mean, it is a broad stroke, but I mean, they did earn it mostly.
Yeah. All right, Reds.
I really thought we'd see something out of them. I mean, I think the trades they made have been fine, and certainly have helped. But I thought you'd see them go get a bat. We were hoping for Schwarber. Maybe Suarez is still on the table, but I mean, I think I give the Reds like a C plus. They've done a little bit. They haven't done a lot. I didn't think they'd do a lot, but I did think they'd go make. I did think they'd make a splash, and they may still. But
Yep.
I think the moves they've made have been good. They're a slightly better team. Another team, obviously, that is relying upon health, but C plus. They've done some nice things, but nothing that's really moved the needle.
Yeah, I'm a C plus needs improvement, and I think the needs improvement comes with a Gino Suarez signing at third or something like that, right? One of those second wave of the tier 2 free agents that they can kind of pick up on the back end going into the season. I think they still can make a move. So I'm with you with a C plus with needs improvement, which means I think they will continue to figure out what's going on. So Ryan's locking it in. He thinks they win the division next year.
I think they could. I mean, I think they're in the running. They're I think the Cubs are going to take a big step back. I don't think the Brewers can do what they did last year again. I think the Reds are going to be a little bit better, and if the Reds are healthy, they'll be quite a bit better.
Yeah. All right, Cardinals.
I'm actually going to give the Cardinals a B minus. I think they're making the right moves. You're unloading the contracts that you knew you needed to get rid of. I still think they need to move Donovan and Arenado if possible. You need to just reset that and get some prospects, dump some salary. But I do think they made some good moves. They are stockpiling young talent, so I'll give them a B minus.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a B plus because I think them realizing that they need a reset is part of it.
Yep.
Right. And then you bring in Bloom, the guy that can pretty much build any team he wants from within. You made the right move there. He's already brought over the prospects from the Red Sox system that he wants, right? And getting rid of guys at the same time. Like those are key moves to already get your organization moving in the right direction. I think they're great moves for 4 years in the future. And that's the start. So I'm going to give them a high grade because of that. So I think it's a B plus.
Yeah, and Bloom is making the moves that Mozeliak should have made last year. Mozeliak sat on his hands and wrote it out. Bloom's now making the moves that should have been made.
Yep. Agree. All right. NL West here, Harrison. Start with the Gigantes.
I mean, C-. They need to do something. I realize the big splash last year for them was Devers. That's a huge commitment on their part.
And Adames.
Well, yeah, sorry, Devers during the season. It was kind of like their big splash. That's a team that's not that far away, but they really could use another pitcher. They need a starting pitcher. The offense is, I think the offense is good enough. I think they need pitching. And I know Buster Posey said there's not necessarily a ton of money to be had to make a move. That's a tough division. You've got to be improving. They're not. I hope they're not done, but I give them I'll go C-. They're not any better or worse. They're just kind of existing.
Yeah, for me, I think I got to give it a D. I think I got to go a little bit lower. I mean, you have done nothing to build any type of depth for your team. And that's what Buster Posey was saying that they needed to focus on. It's like, listen, we're not going to make a splash in free agency and overtake the Dodgers. So the best chance that we have of winning is building depth. So if we get hurt in the season, we have players that can go in and plug in. We can maintain status quo to hopefully compete for that, fourth or fifth wild card spot, right? And they haven't. So for me, that it's a D for the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. It's not good. They're not making progress.
Yeah. Yeah. Padres.
Yeah. D. I mean, you've lost your whole starting rotation basically. You still have Pivetta. Musgrove comes back. You re-signed King. You still lost Cease. Darvish is out for the season. Might be the end of his career. We don't know. You've really not done anything. You've added a couple of small pieces, but nothing that really moves the needle. You've just brought back King, who you already had. Suarez is gone out of your bullpen. That team is significantly worse than they were last year. And last year was a tough season for them. Mm-hmm. And you've still got those behemoth contracts that are not working out for you.
Yeah. This is a D- to barely passing.
Yeah.
This is barely passing. Michael King is the only reason why you're passing right now. Padres are an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And Michael King is the only thing keeping you from me failing you completely out of my class. But it's a hard D- for the Padres. I don't know where they go. I don't know what they do. I got nothing for them. I really don't.
No, they're lost. And I don't think they've got a lot of moves to make. I don't think they've got a ton of money to spend. I think they are. I said it leaving the season. Like, they are a team that is very much. They've got to figure out who they're going to be. Are you going to try to live with these contracts, or are you going to try to tear this thing down? And I think looks like they're trying to live with it, but it's going to be really hard to. And they're not doing enough.
Yeah. Rockies. Okay, moving on. Enough said.
They still have a team.
Yeah. I was going to say, enough said. Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, they're a D. They're not going to do anything. They've got no money. There's no hope there. No. It's a D. They're existing.
Yep. Diamondbacks. This one's a hard one for me.
Yeah, this is a tough one because
they're just stuck.
That's the thing. Like, I'm going to give the Diamondbacks a D. I think that they've got holes. it sounds like the Ketel Marte thing, they're just going to take him back off the market. They're not going to get what they want for him. And Mike Hazen kind of said, we weren't sure we would, but we had to at least explore it. You've got holes all over that team. You've got some injuries with guys coming back. You've got half your rotation is hurt. You brought back Merrill Kelly, woo.
Yeah.
But, and that's a D. That team is going nowhere fast. And a lot of it is they are stuck because of injuries, and they've got to wait for guys to come back throughout the year next year. Part of that is because you've got holes to fill, then you don't really have a plan yet because you've still got all these other question marks. They're stuck. They're in this weird middle ground where they don't have a lot of options. So D.
Yeah. Curtis, this is it. Arizona is snake bitten. They're just stuck, just like I said right at the beginning there. And you nailed it, right? It's the injuries, not knowing exactly when guys are coming back with Corbin Burns, Justin Martinez, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. tearing his ACL with like a week left to go in the season. Like, what? Like, come on. Gabriel Moreno was out a big chunk last year. Do you get anything out of him next year? Do they sign a third baseman? Do they sign a first baseman? Like, they are just out there. And as much as it hurts me, as the Diamondbacks are my second team, I'm with you. It is a D. And you just keep it. It is kind of from lack of trying, but it's also because they can't try because they're so stuck.
Yeah. I mean, right now you've got 3 studs in Ketel Marte, Perdomo, and Carroll, and then just like a bunch of other guys, and a couple of holes, and you got a rotation that's in shambles because of injuries. But like a lot of these guys are going to come back. You just don't know when. So you're not going to go sign long-term commitments to guys to fill holes that are going to be filled when they come back.
Right.
It's a brutal position to be in.
Mm-hmm. And the Dodgers.
I mean, I'm not even sure what they've been quiet, which is weird. I still think they've got work to do. They've got a bullpen that needs some serious attention that they haven't addressed.
Well, they got Diaz.
I mean, they got yes, you got the back end, but the rest of the bullpen was also a disaster. Mm-hmm. So Diaz, check, great. You got the closer. The rest of the bullpen's still a disaster. You've got the outfield you got to figure out because Conforto was a nightmare. What are you going to do there?
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not even talking to him. I feel like the Dodgers have been strangely quiet. So
yeah, they're not talking to him as a bunch of BS too.
Right? I mean, who knows? But,
I
mean, the Dodgers are hard for me because they don't need to do a lot. You're coming off of back-to-back World Series championships. You've got 9 starting pitchers. You've got, your weakness is you need a left fielder because Conforto was terrible, and you need to fix your bullpen. That's really it.
Yep.
Everything else is pretty well locked in.
Yeah.
So
I'm with it.
C- because you haven't addressed the issues you've got.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a C. It's the Dodgers. They already don't have to do a whole lot, right? They did get Diaz. They are going to sign one of these other free agents. They might not be talking to them, but they're going to sign somebody else. They're going to make it work. They're going to run through the NL again, and we're going to see them in the World Series in 2026. It is what it is. So it's a C. They're doing what they have to, and then by the end of the offseason, when they land Bregman and Bichette and Tucker, it's going to be an A+. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think they're done. I think they're going to swoop in and grab some of these guys at a discount because they're patient and they know players want to go there because they want to win. And, they're sitting in a position of power. They don't have to do anything.
Right. And Brian, yeah, great point. When the evil empire is silent, they have what they think they need figured out. Yeah.
And there's a reason that Andrew Friedman is one of the highest paid front office execs in baseball. He knows what the hell he's doing.
Yep. Agree. All right, let's get over to the dreaded AL East, and let's start with our boys, The Boston Red Sox.
I mean, I feel this feels really incomplete because we know that there's other stuff coming, or God, I hope there is. But I mean, did you bulk up the starting rotation? You did some. Did you add to the bullpen? Not really. You still have holes in the lineup, but you've made some strides. I mean, I'm going to go C plus for the Red Sox. I think they are looking at what the young kids coming, and they want to leave some flexibility for them. They want to give them a chance to win jobs. I don't hate that, but I would like to see at least an established veteran right-handed bat added to that team.
Please.
But aside from Contreras, I think the Contreras move is good. So I'd like to see another right-handed bat.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I think it's a solid C plus. I said it when we talked about the Contreras signing. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It just kind of is what it is.
It's good.
The undervalued deal that I think could help the Red Sox a lot is not the Sonny Gray one. It's the Johan Oviedo signing. I think that Andrew Bailey could do some damage with that kid, and he could be really filthy in the AL East, or he could be an utter disaster. But we have seen him pitch live, and he's got some great stuff. Yeah. If Bailey can sink his teeth into him, that might be the undervalued move for the Red Sox this offseason. They do need another right-handed bat. I'm with you, but it's a solid C for me to C plus.
Yeah, and honestly, like I wouldn't be heartbroken if they don't get the bat, because that means you're going to give a guy like Marcelo Mayer a bigger piece of the pie.
Christian Campbell maybe another shot.
Yeah, Cam maybe gets another shot. But the players you haven't lost anything like major. Bregman, yes, but he was hurt for a third of the season. Giolito, Hendricks, Lowe, Wilson. Nobody. You don't look at that list and go, "Oh man, like we can't live without those guys."
Right.
And then you traded some other guys, and you had guys like Dustin May and Rob Refsteiner move on. Okay, like nothing here is like heartbreaking. It would just be nice to see another bat.
Yep, I agree. Boston does not win the division, locking it in. Yeah, I mean that's a given.
Yeah, the Red Sox are the second best team in that division right now.
Yeah, not even close. All right, Baltimore Orioles, Harrison.
I'm going to give them a B plus. They've made some bold moves with like the Baz move, the Pete Alonso signing for sure. I think that's a team that doesn't necessarily have to do a lot, because you expect those guys that had tough seasons last year to rebound. I think Alonso's a nice addition. They still need more pitching. Ward's a nice addition, but this team, it's not about offense with this team. It's about the pitching staff. They need more pitching. So I'm gonna go B plus. They've filled some voids. I don't think they're done yet, but they definitely need the starting pitching. You tell me that Ranger Suarez is heading there, and that's an A, and that's a great offseason for them.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Pete Alonso, Taylor Ward, great additions. Getting Eflin back's a big one. But like you said, you get me Suarez, even Valdez. I'm probably bumping this up to an A plus for sure. But they've put themselves in decent position going forward. So
yeah, that lineup is disgusting when you look at it on paper.
Yeah. Forrest, thanks for the update, buddy. This is absolutely incredible. Rounding third, just hit 30K followers. So man, absolutely nuts. Pretty awesome milestone right there. So thanks for keeping tabs on that, Forrest. It means a lot. Pretty dang cool. So I hope you're just throwing this out here to get a rise out of us, because this would be ridiculous, and I would have to go back and change our grade for the Dodgers immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if you get anybody, there's rumors the Mets are trying to move in on Tariq Skubal. There's rumors the Dodgers are talking about it. Whoever gets Tariq Skubal gets an immediate boost, but I don't think he's moved yet.
No, and the only team that he's going to go to is the Dodgers. Let's be honest. There's no way Skubal gets traded to the Mets. I'm gonna say it right now. No possible way. But yeah. Anyways, B plus for the Orioles with a chance for an A plus, I believe.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Rays.
I mean, I don't expect them to do anything. They never do. So, uh,
An E for existing.
yeah, I mean, a C minus because they're just kind of doing their thing. They'll somehow still be good
Yep.
because they always freaking are. And
Yep.
there's probably like 7 guys that are going to be on that team next year we've never heard of that they 3D printed down in wherever their little baseball manufacturing facility is. But
Durham.
yeah, pretty much just they're 3D printing guys in Durham. Yeah, Rays get an S for satisfactory, John. That's probably the
Yep.
way to score them.
Yep.
I'll give them a C minus. I'd like to see the Rays do more. I know they're not going to. They are what they are. They're a player development machine. That's what they are.
Yep. I'm with you. The Rays are the Rays. Toronto Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays have I'm gonna give the Blue Jays an A minus. I like the Cease deal. It was a little rich, but I like what they did there. Again, I don't think they're done either. You've got Santander coming back, so you don't need to go crazy in the outfield. They're still talking to Tucker, but who knows what that means. This is a team that came like half an inch away from winning the World Series. You don't have to go make any crazy changes. I would have liked to see them pick up a closer. I all due respect to Hoffman, but you learned in the World Series how important that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't fault them. Nobody saw Miguel Rojas going yard to to tie that game. So, yeah, I think they're an A minus for me. I think they've been more aggressive than I thought they'd be. That's going to be they're going to be the class of the AL East next year.
Yep. I'm giving them a B plus. I mean, pretty much essentially the same as you, because it is going to bump up to an A when Bo Bichette re-signs in Toronto.
Yeah.
I think it's almost inevitable at this point. I think he's still shopping around to try to figure out what his dollar value is, and then he goes back to the Blue Jays and he says, "Meet me in the middle, bring me back." I think ultimately that's what happens to Bichette. But Blue Jays are in great shape. They really are. And like you said, they're not done. So they are going to repeat as AL champions. I don't see anybody, barring another team just coming and sweeping the rest of the free agent market and making some mega trades. I don't see another team coming in and knocking off the Blue Jays this upcoming season. I really don't.
No, and Michael, you're right. Miguel Rojas didn't see Miguel Rojas going yard there.
Facts.
That wasn't even part of his approach.
Yeah.
And great point, Curtis. The Blue Jays, they are chirping loudly this offseason. They, as the Rogers said, like we want to invest. We just need to know that we're doing it intelligently. And when you get that close to winning it all, you put all your chips in the middle of the table. You got to go get that ring.
Yeah. Yeah, Forrest, this was a weird one to me too after the World Series. Yeah, I'd love to see the Blue Jays stick it to all the people who weirdly kept saying they need to enjoy it because it will never happen again. Those people clearly don't follow or watch baseball, because that team played a type of baseball that can be repeated.
Yep.
Right? The 3-run homer, the live and die by the 3-run homer, is not easily repeated. The type of baseball the Blue Jays played, with guys hitting 300, running the bases how you're supposed to run the bases, fielding the ball, that's how you win ball games consistently. Yep. Blue Jays will be back. They will be.
Yep.
So I'm with you.
To me, they are clearly the class of the AL East. And I think they're the number 1 team in the AL right now.
Yeah. So standing right now, Blue Jays, Boston, Yankees, Baltimore, Tampa. Yeah, I could see it playing out that way for sure.
Agreed.
All right, Yankees grade, Harrison.
To me, it's a D for the Yankees. They have been surprisingly quiet. And I know that the Bellinger thing is a staring contest. But you've got bullpen issues that bit them hard last year. You've got all the injuries. You got to figure out a plan of how you're going to manage those until guys come back. you made the Trent Grisham mistake of a lifetime. So to me, the Yankees, it's a D. I don't think they're done, but as it stands right now, not impressed. Not a better team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say this because I'm a Red Sox homer, but it's an F right now for the Yankees, and it's solely on the Trent Grisham deal. That was such a huge miss. Yeah, just for Grisham, I'm with you, Mike Reed. That was such a huge miss that how can you not fail them at this moment? Now, they're still the New York Yankees. They're
Yep.
going to find their way past that little hiccup or big hiccup, however you want to. Yeah, Curtis, where do I start? The
Yeah.
token
Let the
Yankees
Yankees
fan.
fan in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where I'm at. Like again, Red Sox. I'm putting the Red Sox completely aside for a minute. That Trent Grisham deal to start the offseason does not set a great tone for you at all.
No.
And then it puts you behind the eight ball. Like now what can I do? I can't offer Bellinger money. I can't go out and see if I can get Bo Bichette and move Volpe off short. It completely handcuffed Brian Cashman, but he handcuffed himself, and he handcuffed himself to the bed, so he can't even make any moves. So like, I mean, it's an F right now.
And we
Has to be.
we literally said it, like, you can't offer him the qualifying offer because he's going to take it. The whole world knew he's going to take it. And then Brian Cashman's like, "Oh my goodness, we're so shocked he took it." Like that's a career defining mistake.
I I don't even know how you sit in a room and that thought pops into your head. How do you sit in a room with all of the front office people and be like, all right, I'm thinking about offering Trent Grisham a qualifying offer. Anybody object? And nobody raises their hand. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
How did they miss that? I I I don't know. It's just
I,
wild to me.
yeah, that is, as we said at the time, that is definitely one of the biggest mistakes of Cashman's career. That was a terrible move, and the whole world knew it.
I, crazy. Yeah, so it's an F for me. I can't give them a passing grade at the moment. They still have time. They still can turn it around. It is the New York Yankees. Can never count them out. But holy smoke. I didn't handcuff him to the bed. He handcuffed himself to the bed.
It's 50 Shades of Baseball, Ryan. Did you get the wrong one?
Oh man. Yeah. And I with you here, Acevedo. And well, until you get rid of Cashman, Yankees won't win again. We have said that for a long time here.
Yeah.
But brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, and John Carter, you're totally right. I think that it's all about the season he had and the left-handedness, and thinking that, well, geez, if we can just get him to drop and drive a few more times, we can replicate that. The problem is you've got a declining defender and a guy that is only good because of your short porch. But yeah, if he does what he did last year again, it's not so terrible. But it may prevent you from making other moves, which is kind of the embarrassment to all of it.
Right. And especially, listen, if you didn't think he was going to take it, that's telling me you evaluated him that he's not worth that. So, how about this? Don't offer it to him. If you don't think he's worth it, don't offer him. I don't know. I don't get it. I really
Did
don't.
did he hit the offer QO to all button?
Yeah.
If it was a firing squad, they would still miss.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
Nick After Dark.
Man.
And thank you, Forrest. My color commentary is always on point
Yeah.
for you guys.
I just, man, I just don't
And
get it. It's an F.
Ryan, I am here for the circus every year in New York to watch Boone just screw it up every year. I love it.
Yeah.
It is poetic.
Crazy. All right. AL Central.
It's funny how the two are very similar. The AL Central and the NL Central. There is nothing going on there.
Do we have grades to hand out? I don't. White Sox, maybe for.
I mean, I'll give the White Sox a B because they're doing things to get better. Murakami to me is still a big gamble, but I'll give them a B for going out there and doing something. They've done more than the teams around them, which is sad to think.
Yep. Yep.
Fair. Tigers, to me, I'll give you my grades real quick. Twins, C. Didn't expect them to do anything. They're not trying to compete. White Sox get a B. They're making some strides. To me, the Tigers get a D. They can't figure out what the hell their plan even is. They're still messing around with this Tariq Skubal thing. Either trade him or don't make a decision. But you've basically put your whole offseason on hold figuring that out. Guardians, and I appreciate the Indians logo, Nick, for this one. Guardians, C-. They're once again doing nothing, and Royals get a D. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're doing some things, and you brought in Matt Strahm, but bats, where are the bats? You're not addressing your weakness.
Yeah. John Carter, the grade for the Twins is AAA, as in that's who is playing for them. Yeah, I can agree with every grade you get. I think the White Sox have the best grade. They're the only ones that seem like they're trying to improve their team. Tigers don't know which direction they're going. They don't know which ends up right now. Yes, you still have Skubal at the moment, but crazy.
I love the hate that Kalenic's getting in the chat.
Crazy. With you with the Royals, they need offense. Still haven't gotten it. So D there. Guardians are the Guardians. So C, average grade.
We should give the Guardians a D just because they're wasting Jose Ramirez. Like, just give the guy some help and let's go. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, middle America. We move a little slower. Plus, we have no money. I mean, not entirely wrong.
Yeah.
And you're totally right. Detroit should still run away with this because they don't have to necessarily get better to win that division. But it's really a shame to see the Tigers do literally. They've done nothing because they don't know what they're doing. Until you figure out the Skubal situation, your whole offseason's on hold. And we're still talking about Skubal in January.
It's just crazy to see a team that, in 2024, they went on that epic run to make the playoffs. And then in 2025, you saw the exact opposite to almost lose their spot in the playoffs. Just wild, the tale of two seasons there. Yeah, I mean, not aggressive enough in free agency is insane to me. In a league with no cap, you choose to spend nothing. And we do talk about finances a little bit here and there on the show. Some teams have it, some teams don't. Some teams choose to pocket it, but AL Central's a weird one. I don't know. I mean, they were running away with the division and they still got caught. So I don't know.
I mean, at this point, put the names in a hat because it almost doesn't matter. This division is so kind of blah right now. Tigers are still the best team in it. The Guardians are going to be good as they always are. The Royals will still be competitive, but can't close the gap. The White Sox are existing, and the Twins are effectively a AAA team with major league lunch money.
Yep. Crazy. All right. AL West to finish it off, Harrison.
This is another tough division. There's not really a lot going on either, but Texas to me is a strange one. You dump Garcia and Heim. You really haven't made any moves to backfill those positions. You haven't really made anything of note.
You got Brandon Nimmo.
You did. You sure did. To me, the Rangers, it's a D. They're in a transition that's like looking like it's shifting towards a rebuild. They just haven't admitted it yet. Danny Jansen, cool. I mean, Alexis Diaz could be a good, bargain basement find. But I mean, you've lost a lot from that team, and you don't have a lot coming.
No. Yep, it's a D for me. They are in rebuild, even though they haven't said it. They're in rebuild, and they're just making moves to fill roster spots at this time. They got their World Series. They're happy. They're good for another 20 years. So it's a D.
Yeah, I mean they're going to ride that as long as they can.
Yep. Astros.
Astros. I feel like the Astros are probably a D for me as well. I don't think that team is. I mean, you lost Valdez, and I get that he's a terrible teammate, but that's a tough pitcher to fill. And we already talked about Ime earlier, or am I always pronounce his name wrong. Kind of a strange pickup for me. You got Nick Allen from the Braves for Dubon, which makes
that's right.
Little to no sense to me. They're not better. I give them a D.
I'm with you. I got nothing on the Astros other than that. They signed a pitcher. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Athletics.
Athletics? I'm going to give the Athletics a B. I like the fact they locked up Soderstrom. I don't hate the Jeff McNeil trade. I think he can be helpful. Mark Leiter Jr. gives you a bullpen arm. You parted with JJ Bleday, but I don't think you need him. You saw Denzel kind of come out of nowhere and take that spot away. I'd like to see them add more pitching. I know that's going to be hard. I'll give the A's a B. I think it's been a good offseason. I don't think they're necessarily significantly better, but I think they're slightly better.
Yeah. I'll give the A's a C minus. I mean, they're making the moves that they can make. The Soderstrom deal, I'm with you. That's the one that makes their grade jump up because you got to lock that kid up. The kid, he had an incredible season. We would have been talking about his season if Nick Kurtz didn't do what he did. So Soderstrom's a nice piece, and he's versatile. So if you have injuries, he can move into another spot, and you're not going to lose anything. So love it. So C for them. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I'm going to give the Angels a B minus. I think they're trying to do some things. I think getting the Rendon thing fixed is big for them. I think they could, like we said at the top of the show, I think they could be surprisingly better than we think. Again, not a playoff team. They're still a little ways out, but I do think that they're going the right direction. Finally. They're just still a little ways out.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I think they're just they're C. The Rendon contract's huge, but they're never going to make big free agent splashes. I think Rendon's torched them. Mike Trout has torched them in a way. I mean, yes, you're going to overpay Mike Trout to keep him as an Angel for his career. I get it. But those two huge investments really haven't panned out. So I don't know if I see the Angels kind of ever doing that again, or at least for a long while. Just got absolutely burnt on them. So I give them a C. All right. And last but not least, the Seattle Mariners.
To me, the Mariners are a D or a D minus. They were so close. They still have the same problems they had last year, and they're still doing nothing. You have the pitching. You brought back Naylor, great. You don't have a third baseman. I know you've got a young guy you think is you're going to give a shot there. You have a window right now with one of the best pitching staffs we may see in our lifetime, and yet you cannot put enough bats around to make it work. And after being as close as you were, you are having a very quiet offseason. And really, you could argue that they're not necessarily a better team right now than they were last year. With Polanco moving on, and Suarez was a disaster when he got there, so I'm not even counting him. But to me, it's a D or a D minus for them. They were so close. They just need a piece or two, and they're doing the same thing as they did last year, which is they're just sitting there watching the market go by.
Yep, I'm with Ryan. I'm with you. I would fail the Mariners if it wasn't for re-signing Josh Naylor. He's the only one keeping them from failing completely. In this offseason, you again another team so freaking close to knocking off the Blue Jays and getting to the World Series. Like you're not far away. So either A, keep the squad together and pay Polanco, pay Suarez, keep the same core, whatever, and find a couple pieces here and there, and find a way to bring it back. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing.
How you get that close and then respond by doing basically nothing is beyond me. And this is coming off the last offseason where we basically said, like, hey, is anybody still working in the Seattle Mariners front office? Because they did nothing last offseason.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, you guys have some pieces that are coming, right?
Yeah.
But again, when you're this close, right? When you're this close, you want proven talent there. Right. If you're still 2 or 3 years off from a World Series, yeah, build up those young kids and get them in there so you're ready to make that run. Right. It is all timing. When you are that close to a World Series with the pitching staff, you have to overspend for that position. Hey, Alex Bregman could still go in and fill that third base hole. He's still out there. They could still bring Suarez back. That I don't think they're going to, because like you said, his second half was so wretched. I think if Bregman goes there, he could be someone that puts them over the hump.
Yep.
Really could. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. It's exactly, Ryan, right? Now's not the time to develop at the big league level. When you are this close, you don't have the time for that. You have to take the 5 starters you have that go out and mow everybody down every night. And you need to have proven MLB talent to back those guys up. And instead, we're just going to sit on our hands and hope the young guys can do it.
You've got another year or two where you can keep that staff intact. And that window is closing. And you're doing nothing with it. And I'm not even a Mariners fan, and I'm disappointed for that fan base and that team to respond like this. And I love this point for us. Do they even know they're the only team that's never been to the World Series? Yeah. They're not acting like it. They're acting like whatever. There's always next year. That fan base deserves a freaking trip to the ship already.
Yeah. The thing that kills me too is, listen, Cal Raleigh had a beast of a year. We all saw it. We all watched history last year. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Does Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs again this year?
No way.
There's no chance. So you have to find that production somewhere else as well. Right? You got to find another, we'll say on the nice side, another 15 home runs. Maybe he hits 45 this year.
Sure.
You got to find 15 home runs plus somewhere else to kind of fill that void of offensive production.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Yeah, they got work to do. And I'm afraid they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Crazy. They are just wasting the window they've got to actually give that fan base a trip to the show or trip to the ship.
I agree. Yeah. See, like Ryan, I'm with you, right? 39, 40 bombs. I was being nice with 45, but I just don't see 60 again. It's crazy.
Just wasting the opportunity is all they're doing.
Yep. All right, here we go. MLB general trivia. So nothing fancy, just straight up questions with a silhouette for a hint. And that's that. I got 7 questions for you. Some of them are tough. I think some of them are layups. But here we go with the first one. In the history of the New York Mets, only 5 players have hit 40 or more home runs in a season. Pete Alonso thrice, Juan Soto, Carlos Beltran, Mike Piazza, and who?
My immediate thought was, did a guy like Ventura do it?
Not Ventura.
Not a guy like Zeal.
Nope.
Loduca didn't hit 40. Granderson?
Not Granderson. Not Strawberry. Good guess. Not Frankie Lindor. No.
Is that a righty?
Not Cespedes. It is a righty. Not Bonilla. Not Strawberry. Ooh. Not Kingman. That's another great guess. Not Delgado. Another great guess. It's not Cepeda.
Who am I not thinking of? Position. What position do they play?
This guy, we have all seen him play. He was a catcher. He was a switch hitter. He's a two-time All-Star. Played from 90 to 98 with the Mets. Not Lucas Duda. Great guess. Bartolo Colon. No.
Oh, is this Hundley?
It is Todd Hundley. Yes,
Oh,
1996. He had 41 home runs and drove in 112.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he hit some bombs. I just kind of forgot about him.
Yep, Todd Hundley. Nice. Yep, everyone's got him now. Yeah, Hundley's coming in the chat now. There you go. As soon as I started rattling off his career there. Yeah.
You always said catcher. I'm like, okay, they didn't have a lot of catchers for a stretch. It was pretty consistent.
Yep. All right. Before Freddie Freeman achieved a 200-plus hit season in 2023, who was the last Dodger before Freddie to accomplish 200-plus hits in a single season?
I 100% know that stance and remember him fondly and will not answer so the chat can.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. You sure it isn't Cologne flat G's? Cologne acted like he hit 40. That's for sure.
Right.
Oh, we got it in chat.
Yes, it is indeed Adrian Beltre for sure. Nice job. All right, the next one we got. In 2017, 5 Reds hit 25 or more home runs in the same season. Joey Votto, Adam Duvall, Scooter Gennett, Gino Suarez, and who?
Oh, man.
This might be the toughest one I have tonight.
I mean, Dunn wasn't there in 17.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we have never mentioned this guy's name on this show.
Oh,
ever.
Great.
Ever.
Great. Wow. Who's the most obscure player?
Not Bruce.
It's like a lefty with a lot of lean. Drop and drive.
What's going on, Nichols? Welcome. Trivia segment of our show. Yeah, this one is this. Yeah. Let's see. I will give you some. Let's see if I can give you some hints here. We played from 2015 to 2021. Dodgers in 15. The Reds from 16 to 19. Atlanta in 2020. The Angels in 2021. That's it. 7 years, and we out.
Did he have any other 30 home run seasons?
His next highest was 2018 with the Reds at 17 homers.
Oh.
But 30 home runs in 2017. Not Jesse Winker, not Dunn.
Oh, good one.
Yep, not Jay Bruce. His name is very similar, not the same, similar to a current golfer. Yes, Michael. I'll take it. It's Scott Schebler.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
No idea who that is.
Crazy. Right? Scott Schebler. 30 home
Holy
runs.
cow.
Yeah. No idea. I was going to leave somebody else off the list, but I was like, no, I have to. This one, we haven't even brought this name up once on our podcast in the 4.5 years we've done this. So,
yeah, dude's got 61 career home runs and 30 of them came in one season.
Yeah. Crazy. Right?
Oh, my Lord.
Making up dudes again. Yeah. Making things up now. Yeah. Yeah. No, guys, I try not to make things up here, but
wow.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Scott Schebler. Yeah. And I was thinking Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, no,
Scotty
makes total sense
Scheffler,
now.
Scott Schebler.
Yeah, love Scotty Scheffler. So that makes now that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, 30 home runs. Yeah. Yeah, that was a stumper. That one's going to be interesting to see how many Google when we release it as a reel. So
everybody will. Anybody that gets it right, I'm calling BS on right now.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Wow.
In 1979, the Kansas City Royals drafted 2 Hall of Famers, one in the 4th round, 99th overall, and the other in the 18th round, 463rd overall.
Drafted 2 Hall of Famers.
Now, this question could mean 2 different things here. I'll give that hint. The dude doesn't exist on Google.
The Royals drafted 2 Hall of Famers.
Not Saberhagen and Brett. Neither of one of them.
Were they Hall of Famers with the Royals? Like, are they in the Hall of Fame with Royals hats on?
No. Curtis, no, they did not stay in the Royals organization.
Did they ever play for the Royals?
No. Elway is definitely one, John Carter. John Elway is one.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. One of them is John Elway. He is the 18th round, 463rd pick out of Stanford.
So is he the one on the left?
He's the one on the right.
Looks like, so is this another quarterback?
Possibly.
Because that guy looks like a quarterback the way he's throwing. Who else got drafted in 79?
Dan Marino is the other one. Nice job. I threw you guys for a loop on this one. Dan Marino in the 4th round, John Elway in the 18th round, both by the Royals in the same year. Pretty cool.
Kind of sucks though. You wasted 2 picks on guys that went to the NFL
and were Hall of Famers.
Yeah, didn't even play for you.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Brutal.
Ryan, just bruh. Yeah, sorry about that one, guys. Threw a little curveball in there.
That was rough.
So. Yeah, love it. All right. Who is the only pitcher to enter a game, give up a grand slam, and still record the save? Yes, sir. We're not liking that one in the chat too much. Come on, man. Yeah,
come on, man.
Threw a little curveball in there, guys. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. Man. I'm sorry. At least Danny Ainge played for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Can you curve a football? I'm sure those guys can. Nope, Nichols, not Ohtani. It is K-Rod, John Carter, for sure. Yep. K-Rod is the exact answer. Not Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
Could be half the Mariners relievers from the 90s. No, it's Francisco Rodriguez. He came in with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the ninth, which makes it a safe situation. Gave up the grand slam and still ended up recording the save. So good one.
It's pretty wild.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, Percival's a good guess.
Percival's a great guess. Kind of that same herky jerky motion as K-Rod too.
K-Rod had like that really obvious like falling off the mound, but
okay, guys, I get it. Back off. I get it.
It was actually Terrell Owens. And he cried about it afterwards because that was his starting pitcher he let down.
Oh, you guys are killing me. Wait until I do hockey trivia next week.
Oh boy.
Kidding. No, I can't even pronounce half the guys' names. So, all right. Who is the most recent MVP to never make a World Series appearance?
So league MVP with no World Series appearance. So when Ohtani went with the Angels, he hadn't been to the World Series, but so it's gonna be something more recent than that.
No, not Suter. Every answer is Suter.
So Judge, when he won, he hadn't been to the World Series yet.
But he has.
He has.
This guy's never been to the World Series. Not McCutchen, someone more recent than him. It's not Judge. It's not Trout. It's someone more recent. Not Alonso. Yes, Harrison. Good. That's not Alonso. That's a great guess. Yeah, in their career, they've never been to the World Series. The most recent. Not Jamie Moyer. Not Schwarber. Ryan Braun, good guess. Not him. More recent than that.
This is a rough one because his team won a World Series. He just wasn't there for it.
Ryan Taylor, you are correct. It is Ronald Acuna. I tried to give you the background as a hint of why he wasn't there because he had the ACL surgeries. It is Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, that background is the only reason I got that one because I'm like, well, it can't be Acuna. The Braves won. I'm like, oh, but he wasn't there.
Yeah. So he's got ALCS and ALDS appearances, but he doesn't have a World Series appearance. Crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Final one. Who is the only player to lead the league in stolen bases for 3 different franchises?
Ricky.
No. Believe it or not, it is not. I had to look. He only led the league when he was on the A's and the Yankees. That's it.
Oh, wow. Oh, I know who this is. I actually drafted him.
Yes, sir.
He was my pinch runner.
Yes, it is. Good. Nice job, guys. Juan Pierre is correct. Yeah, I had to double check this one too, because my first initial thought was Ricky Henderson as well. But yeah, only led the league with the Yankees and the A's, which I thought was mind-blowing. Deion Sanders, good guess. Vince, well, of course, because you guys think I'm going football with everything now. Vince Coleman, Tatis Jr., good guess. Yeah, Coleman, Pierre. Eric Young, not a bad guess. But yeah, Juan Pierre, nice job. You guys got all that. Nice work. Yep, Colorado, Florida, and the White Sox. Henderson only led the league with the Yankees and the A's. So pretty cool. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that's all I had for trivia tonight. Nice quick one. But yeah, sorry about the football question. I guess I won't throw that back in ever again. So
read the room, man. Holy cow.
Goodness. I mean, I thought it was baseball related enough since they got drafted by the Royals, but man, that went over like a fart in church. Not good. All right. So while you guys are thinking of anything you want to bring out to end the show, Harrison, do you have anything else to add?
Just a minor thing I thought was actually kind of entertaining. Not sure if you guys saw, but Alexi Ramirez has been added to Team Cuba's roster for the World Baseball Classic. Alexi is now 44, I believe I read. Is still playing in Cuba, I guess, and some other leagues.
Yeah,
But
he has like 2,000 hits in Cuba and 2,000 MLB career hits, something like that.
strange. But yeah, so he's actually been added to Team Cuba's roster.
No, I dug it, but stop making dudes up. Scott Schebler. That's the one that people are going to get at me on. But
Oh yeah, that one's gonna be fun.
that's cool. That 44 years old going to the WBC is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
kind of cool to see a guy like that pop back up.
Yep. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry, Forrest. Nice job. 1,000 hits and 100 home runs in each league. I knew it was something like that, but pretty cool. I'll have to watch it on Patreon, Captain. You posted it on there, but Captain says I watched a YouTube about the lockout affecting the expansion. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah, this is we mentioned this probably like a year ago now. We got deep into the expansion pieces. What does the lockout do? Because that kind of stops everything. And I do think that I think the lockout postpones everything because you need baseball. That's going to be the primary focus. But two, I think it becomes harder to sell expansion franchises in a league that's just coming out of labor dispute. And so unless they lock up a long-term CBA, is anybody going to be excited to jump in and buy a Major League Baseball team coming out of any kind of prolonged labor dispute? It's a interesting time for Major League Baseball to be talking expansion when you've got two homeless teams and a work stoppage coming.
That's the issue for me. It's not so much the talk of expansion, because I think that is coming sooner rather than later. It's the two teams without a home. Like you're talking about expanding the league, but you don't even have your 30 teams in 30 MLB stadiums. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you have plans to get them back in, but for the Rays, how long? I mean, once Vegas gets settled, they're going to be fine. They're not an issue. But the Rays are an issue. And then you add the labor lockout on top of that, it's absolutely insane. It's hard to talk and think expansion when you have all that going on.
Yeah. And Cap, I do think that the value of teams is impacted by what comes out of the CBA as well, because that'll influence what the rules of engagement are and what that new economic platform looks like. The value of expansion teams is kind of already set in terms of what they'd pay. I mean, I guess there's a scenario where something changes, but for the most part, they've already got team values pegged. And I think it was 2.1 billion was the expansion cost. I think the MLB Raleigh guys confirmed that for us, but
yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah,
like they've already kind of set the expansion price tag. I suppose that could change, but you do have existing teams that are valued at less than 2.1 billion, and why wouldn't you just go try to buy one of them? It's a weird time to do expansion in Major League Baseball, especially when you're expanding into smaller markets, when you've already got the issue of small markets versus big markets, and there's a lot of things at play here that make expansion really, really difficult to do right now.
that's why I think Raleigh makes the most sense at the moment, because they are in the top 10 media markets of the country.
Yep.
And there's no media market here that carries baseball. So I think Raleigh is starting to become a front runner. The more I keep an eye on MLB Raleigh's page, the more I'm convinced MLB is aware of what's happening here, and they're ready.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that Nashville doesn't come in last minute and be like, hey, like we have everything finally set, but Raleigh's got everything ready to go. Just pretty much waiting for the cue for Manfred to be like, okay, we're ready for bids. Pretty much all Raleigh's waiting for at this point.
Yeah, I think all the groundwork's done. Now it's just a matter of when does the window open to submit. And my guess is if you got work stoppage coming, that window might get delayed.
Yeah, agree.
These are the team to be blacked out of.
No, listen, I can handle it because as soon as they put a team here, I'm only going to have one blackout. They'll release the
That is
other
true.
they'll release the other blackout markets. But yeah, expansion's pushed back far and it's going to keep going for sure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Raleigh doesn't have football. Charlotte's got football. Raleigh's got hockey and MLS. I think they want to split it. I think they want to go hockey, baseball, and Raleigh, football, basketball, in Charlotte. Um, and like I said, there's it's literally just a blackout zone. There's no media coverage for baseball in Raleigh, North Carolina at all. Like Atlanta market can't reach it, Baltimore, Washington can't reach it, Nashville can't reach it. It's literally just on an island by itself. And it's the 10th biggest like growth population in the country. So I think that all of that is going for MLB Raleigh or for a team to get there. I think I like it, Ryan, just because it will put 16 in each league, right? And it makes the playoffs even. You don't have buys, you don't have any of that stuff. It's just I kind of like the hockey playoff format. It's the top 8 make it or whatever, and then they just 8 plays 1, 2, 7, then they reseed. I kind of do like that. But
I think it creates some interesting opportunities for baseball, but I do feel like expansion right now is a bad idea.
Oh, for sure. I'm with you there.
You've got so many teams that are not competitive, not financially sound. You've got, depending what comes out of this work stoppage, you may see owners decide to sell if they don't think they can operate in the new world.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get some relief. I think that expansion right now is a terrible idea. I think expansion in general, I agree with Nick. I think there's some benefits to having 2 more teams. You probably max out baseball there because any further you start to water it down. But the timing of this is terrible.
Yeah. Put a team in Greensboro, Curtis. No way. And get rid of my grasshoppers. There's no way. And Greensboro couldn't hold them, but
yeah, no,
it's funny. But do we need 2 more Washington National type franchises to balance the playoff system? I mean, it's a valid point, right? Do you start watering down the playoff pool? I mean, we already saw the Cincinnati Reds go in and just get absolutely, embarrassed.
Destroyed.
Let's put it embarrassed by the Dodgers in 2 games, and they went home. So you add 2 more teams to that type of format. Are we going to see that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, money's sitting in Portland, especially in Utah. That money is in a trust. I think right now, if I had to choose, it's Salt Lake City and Raleigh, right? One in the West, one in the East. Those are my 2 top choices of where I think they're going to end up. Not necessarily where I want them to end up, except for Raleigh, but I think for sure it's Utah out west, right? Do you think Portland could sweep in and steal it from them? I don't know if they can.
I mean, Utah seems to be such a heavy favorite because they're already ready to go. Like, they can just plug this right into their already redesigned Salt Lake City downtown. It feels like that one
is inevitable.
Is kind of a given that they are the most ready, and barring some kind of crazy issue with their submission, it seems like they're going to get it. Portland's also taking steps to get ready. I just don't think they're as far along as Utah, but at the same time, if you're talking awarding a team in 29, still a lot of time to get ready.
Yeah. I know, Captain. I know you would love baseball there, and I would love it for you. I just feel like with Utah moving the Phoenix Coyotes there, right? They're what, the Yeti now? Is that what they are? The Utah Yeti? The NHL team, I think. Right? You got hockey there. You got basketball there. You bring in baseball. Now you got 3 out of the 4 major sports there. I think I feel like that's where they want to go. I would be fine with either one because you put them up in Portland and you take Seattle off the island all by themselves over there, but you're kind of doing the same thing in Utah. You take the Rockies off the mountain there, so or off the island. Well, I guess off the mountain too, but I mean, you kind of break it up a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, the Mammoth, is that what they are? Utah Mammoth. That's what
yeah,
it
that's
is.
right. The Mammoth.
That's right. The Mammoth. That's right. I knew it was something like that, but yeah, I think it's Utah, Raleigh, and then secondary, it's gonna be, I would think, Portland and Nashville. I think those four cities are the front runners for sure.
Captain coming to defend Portland.
Love it. Yeah. Man. Yeah. Portland is fine. Do your research and don't listen to Fox News.
Don't listen to any news for that matter. Don't listen to any of them.
It's bad.
It's all so heavily slanted one direction or the other.
Crazy.
None of it's actually true. It's just it's opinion with a small amount of fact wrapped into it.
Yep.
Interesting note on the Japanese players. So Kona Takahashi, who was actually a teammate of Ime. What's his name? What's his last name again?
I think I pronounce it Amai.
Amai. We'll go with Amai. I continually say it wrong.
I say Ime too, so I don't know.
They were teammates for a number of years with the Seibu Lions. He has one major league offer in hand, but is actually debating just going back to Japan because his posting window is Sunday. And he would look to sign an opt-out deal with Seibu to potentially come back to MLB in a year or two. But another guy finding little to no market, not liking the offer he has, and debating just going back.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of poor timing for all of those guys, right? Because for everything we said earlier in the show. You got the lockout coming. They don't want to make big investments to these guys when you don't know exactly how they're going to perform. But I don't know. Tough one.
Yeah, it felt like there for a stretch, like every day there's a new name getting posted. It was like, who are these guys?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But anything else before we head off?
No, I hope that we get some free agent activity in the next couple of weeks so we can start to see how teams are going to shake out because we got pitchers and catchers reporting in like 6 weeks.
Right? Crazy. So, all right, fellas, we're going to call it a night. Another absolutely incredible show. Thank you so much for all the contributions that you guys bring every show. Absolutely incredible. You guys say it all the time. Backbone of our show. We hit 30K tonight being live on the show. Thank you for the support. It's still mind-blowing to me that we've been able to build this community, and it's just full of people that can sit around and talk about baseball as much as we do. So absolutely love it. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a great New Year's. And we will see you on Thursday. Have a great night.
See ya.